Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Today we're going to be adding a new category of Supreme Commander content to the channel today. We're going to be adding casting to the channel. So this will be the last kind of category that I'm going to add as I'm ramping up the channel, getting some diversity in different content. So if you're interested in things Supreme Commander related, there's a lot of different types of content on my channel, things ranging from economy balance, if I could speak correctly, to first-person commentaries of games that I play on the ladder or custom games that I play, as well as tutorials. So if I play, the matchmaking system in Supreme Commander is not stellar, and sometimes just the best match available is matching me versus somebody who is like brand new to the game, and those games usually end up being pretty one-sided. So I like to try and take apart those games and help newer players where I can, as well as offer suggestions or tips on chat like during game, as long as like we can bridge a language barrier if there is one, because I unfortunately only really speak English very well. So this is the last category we're going to be talking about. We're going to be casting games today. So found a game. It's my first time casting a game, so bear with me. This might be a little bit rough, but I want to do games that are a little bit lower skill level than I think other people cast out there. So games that are kind of around my skill level, where I'm at about 1,000, and so kind of, plus minus 500-600 of that, where we start getting down into people that are genuinely a little bit newer at the game. I think this is going to make for A, more interesting games, and B, will allow us to just have a little bit of fun, I think, with the game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So let me switch, and you guys are going to see my desktop for 1 second before we get into the game here. Okay, so going ahead and kicking this off. It's a sentence clutch match. So I picked this because it has pretty good balance, so 92%, and there's also a good range of people. So we have a 400 kind of on the low side up to about 1,200 on the high side. So a good mix of kind of newer players playing against some people that are obviously a little bit more seasoned. The thing though that I do like about this particular game is I don't think any of these people have over 100 games. So it should be pretty interesting from a strategic perspective, as well as from a just an entertainment value standpoint. So let's go ahead and introduce the players. So we'll start with kind of the beach on, we'll call in proper Guile fashion. This is team 1 up here at the top, and then team 2 is down here at the bottom. By the way, if you guys like Supreme Commander casts and for some reason you somehow made it here to my channel before running into people like Guilecast or Jagged Appliance, definitely check those channels out. They upload a lot of casting content, and they were kind of the ones that inspired me to do this, because if you guys are like me and you watch Guile, you wanted more Guile, and I wanted more Guile, so I decided to create some hopefully some additional content for you guys out there. But so let's get into it. So we've got Idris playing Cybran, opening first air. He's got some power generators, grabbing mexes. In rear guard, air position, we've got, let me lock my screen here real quick. Admiral Keo. Oh, Admiral. Oh, hey, I'm actually friends with this guy. That's funny. I'll have to give him, I'll have to rib him for this game based on his performance. Going to the cliffs, we've got Ruddy Eckert playing UEF, going first air. A lot of first air opens today. And then lastly, on the way to the middle, is Crabfish playing UEF, and he went first and second land, got some power generation up, and is headed to the middle to scoop mass for his team. His mirror is going to be Samael. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's going to be Seraphim. Looks like he opened first and second land, throwing down some energy. Good choice whenever you have that mass coming in really quickly. Over to the cliff side, we have Russell Cart. We'll call him Soul Cart, going Cybran. First land, second air, and already queuing up some land factors. I'm assuming going to be grabbing some Navia factors as well. Air position on this side is going to be Purple Nutter, going Cybran as well. Opening first land, interesting choice on the air position. Although I think the land factory does give you better engineer production earlier on in the game. And then lastly, we have More Than a Jedi. Love that name. playing Cybran on the beach position for Team 2. So we've got our 2 ACUs getting into the middle. I'm going to be scooping a lot of mass. We have Selen out for Samael. It's going to be doing some scouting, picking up on what Crabfish's position is. Transport already going out to grab this side island from Rudy Eckert. So good idea to definitely secure those as quickly as possible. And then a attack bomber and looks like an interceptor out. So Solkarn not going for that right off the bat, but definitely wants to make sure that Hizmir and Idris isn't able to snipe that and grab that from away from him. First Naval Factory is out, queuing up some Thunderheads on that side. We've already got energy being asked from Crabfish. Yeah, so remember, you've got lots of reclaim, lots of mass income. You need a lot of energy to be able to sustain that. What else is going on here? Like I said, first game casting. So gonna have to bear with me as I figure out the best way to do this. So this bomber actually isn't going to be used to deny. It's going to be used to harass these northern mass extraction points. This is always supremely annoying as a beach player, because as a beach player, I think you're already down 3 or 4 mass points from your opposing cliff player. So it's always annoying as well whenever you have a bomber to contend with, and it doesn't look like he has any interceptors out to deal with it. Idris is not responding, actually just going straight T2 on the air factory. So he's got his T2 air HQ up, got his land factory. So I wonder what he's going to do on this side. Looks like he's going to be cranking out some engineers, maybe going for some Corsairs to help harass his mirror and Solkarn. Comms beating into each other. Looks like Crabfish is getting the better of this exchange so far. Denied point defense though. Tham is going to take a dive from the ACU. Just kind of a steady stream of units. We can see Samael starting to set up his production facilities back up by this mass extraction point. Not as many forward, or not any forward production facilities for Crabcutter, or Crabfish. Electing instead to keep his production more centralized, which means that he will probably be able to get more of it sooner, but he will obviously run into problems with reinforcing. Zui's probably going to go in and take out that point defense pretty quickly. That bomber is making Idris's life very difficult. Working on a Burstmaster to deal with it would probably be better to crank out an interceptor or two, because those Burstmasters have limited range and he's going to be losing these mixes. Down on this side, we've got Rudy Eckert already putting down some harassment on Hizmir, more than a Jedi. So he's going to have to use some mind tricks to get out of this one. Corny joke, I know, and it's really funny because these guys, the Thunderheads, actually have jamming capabilities, so they're the ones actually doing the Jedi mind tricks, as it were. Make more T1 air Jedi. Aren't you on the opposite team? It's so important. Oh, he's giving him crap. Okay. But he's got a sliver out. These frigates obviously very susceptible to torpedoes, so that sliver should be able to chase them out. He does have a Tiger Shark inbound though, so that'll hopefully wrap that one up. More than a Jedi still hasn't grabbed all of the mass points on his side, and then Solkarn just now moving out to that island as well. So it looks like Rudy Eckert is having a little better game than Solkarn currently, as far as just being able to expand pretty quickly. But we shall see how this sets up. Let's check in on our air players. How's my buddy Admiral doing? So he's got T2 air and making the jump to T3 right now. He's got a bunch of T2 mass points, series of T1 air factories. Probably would have helped him. Okay, no, he did lay down a T2 power generator. That's good. And then on the other side, we have Purple Nutter. Purple Nutter is not building air. He's gone to T2 on his land factory and is now going T2 on his ACU. So interesting strategy. I wonder what he has planned there. Yeah, he seems to be going land all day with lots of good reclaim and some pretty quick upgrades. So we will see what this guy has planned. Maybe he's going for a fast monkey or a fast megalith or a soul ripper or something like that to put pressure on the mid. Speaking of the middle, Crabfish has definitely seen better days. His ACU on a T2 upgrade right now, so probably going to try and distance build like a triad up on this cliff is what I would do there. Hopefully try and chase this away, secure this a little bit. I don't know if he meant to shut down these mass extraction points. Oh, he's paused them upgrading. Okay. So obviously a little hurting for mass. Even though he is at 75, 88 income, he's still hurting a little bit, looks like. Broody sending in a little bit of help and an engineer, hopefully going to be building something with that. And then we've got Samael in a pretty good position right now, putting together an air defense. Obviously concerned about it. Air snipe at some point, and then probably going to see this get pretty static here, especially with some T2 point defenses getting set up. From an eco perspective, both sides are pacing pretty closely. Everybody is kind of hovering around 200. Well, it seems like Team 2 has a little bit of an edge. I'm still getting used to this scoreboard, so I'm sorry if I'm using this incorrectly. Mass reclaim, mass total. So this is the total amount accrued, so Team 2 is definitely ahead on that side at 73 total versus 66. That's reclaim, and so if we go to mass income, then this is where it's fluctuating quite a bit. I'm guessing that there's a good amount of reclaim. Oh, we do have a Medusa drop down here. Engineers are getting to work on a Burst Master, but that's not going to help a whole lot against Medusas. So Idris is struggling in the beach position to be able to fend off Soul Cairnt's pushes here, and this is going to go into Admiral's eco next. So try and get a Jester or something out, setting down some point defense to protect his primary base and energy, which is definitely a good idea, but wants to try and get out a Renegade or a Jester or something to deal with these T1 light artillery. Let's see if there's a reaction from Admiral. Doesn't look like it yet. He's still producing engineers and ecoing pretty hard. Crabfish has got these triads set up. These triads, though, they will struggle against this magnitude of T1 spam, so there's going to be an engage here. We shall see. What is this thing targeting? Oh, it's targeting the comm. Yeah, and his teammates are agreeing there. Definitely needs some T1 PD. The Zooies just eviscerated that triad. Not even a wreck left. Yeah, and the Zooies are gonna clean up, clean house. Well, I say that, but they're really just targeting the comm and the buildings, and so these strikers are gonna make them wish they hadn't done that. Oh, Crabfish is in trouble here. We've got slivers coming in from more than a Jedi, and so you can't go out of the water, you can't be in the water. Let's see if Samael has enough juice. Doesn't look like it. Looks like he's going to be able to make it out. And then we have a relief force turning up from Rudy to help stem the tide of the bad guys and get these subs off of his mid player. Rudy's saying run away. The top, Admiral did pump out some gunships. It does look though like we still have some Medusas that have wormed their way in and are damaging a T2 mass point. Looks like they've already killed another one. So that's obviously not ideal. Admiral needs to pull his commander to react to that. Rudy's now bringing in some naval assistance. It doesn't look like he's at T2 yet, though. T2 with some destroyers would definitely put a lot more pressure on these guys than the frigates are able to, but still, a little bit of help is better than no help at all, right? And those guys should be able to mop up those interceptors. Give Admiral hopefully a little bit of an easier time later on. And these triads are just getting destroyed by those Zuis. Zuis are rough. Idris warning on an assassination attempt. So it looks like we've got Spectres coming in from Admiral, definitely going after this comm. And that's a point defense, that's not going to help him too much. We'll see how these interceptors can defend him, or if this is going to be our first scalp of the game. Interceptors are going to work. This Crabfish needs to push his units forward. I don't know if we're going to have enough Spectres to take out this commander. Doesn't look like it. Might be able to force him into the water. These interceptors are still wrapping it up and more coming in. Yeah, I don't think that they're going to be able to kill off the comm. Good effort, though. I mean, maybe he just keeps clicking into the ocean, though, and then the slivers, now he backs off. Okay. Smart enough to recognize that. Yeah, I need to have a little bit better communication and synchronization there. Crabfish needs to unpause these mass points and let them upgrade so that he can get some mass income. Yeah, because he's sitting at 41. Somebody's obviously overflowing and not using their mass 100%. Oh, either that or he's reclaiming. I'm not sure if anybody is overflowing mass. Maybe it's Idris. No? Alright, I'm not sure who is causing these values to fluctuate, but I mean, it's pretty clear that Team 2, though, is in the driver's seat, almost 100 eco up on Team 1. So Team 1 definitely are in a little bit of trouble here. We do have a Salem out, though, from Idris. That'll put in some good work at clearing up this causeway and buying Crabfish some time to finish up these defenses and set up, kind of hardening this this point, assuming he keeps it there. Another gunship run, looking for the comm. Are they going to find it? Alrighty, there we go. They're locked in. Let's see if they got enough juice. I think we probably have Semi-L beaten. There we go. First ejection from the game. 14 minutes in. My boy Admiral with that gunship snipe. And getting a great economy set up here with lots of air factories, quantum reactors set up. He obviously had a good template set up for this. Admiral Eco is not leading the pack, though, on Eco. That's actually claimed by Rudy. At 145 mass. Purple Nutter, though, is cooking up something dangerous back here. So he's finally gone for air, and now he's getting his power grid set up. So we'll see if by ecoing for as long as he did, he'll be able to slingshot himself into the lead. Incidentally, all of this is transferred over to More Than a Jedi. So More Than a Jedi now has more than a one starting slot. Corny joke, right? Crabfish is getting well solidified here. Radar points set up. Also going to set up a stealth field, it looks like. Lots of good reclaim here, though. We'll see if anybody captures that. So Idris is still struggling up here in the top pond. Still hasn't been able to reclaim these mexes yet. It's just now getting around to it, it looks like. Well, he's got a partly constructed mass extractor and a burst master up there. So he's definitely struggling. Meanwhile, we've got mass engineer spam coming out from Solcairn, cranking out destroyers and cruisers like there's no tomorrow. Also got a lot of engineers that have upgraded these mass extractors to T2, so he's doing very well from an eco perspective, pulling in almost quadruple the amount of eco as Idris is. So Idris is going to have to do something about the economy issue. He does have, for the moment, control of the ocean with Salem's and a crew, 2 Salem's and, well, wait a minute, this is a mermaid, so counterintelligence boat. He does currently have control, so he has himself a little bit of time, but he needs, he definitely needs to get back into this eco game a little bit more. Oh, this is fun. This is way more fun casting than is playing. Playing is such a stressful. I understand what, if you guys have watched Guilecast, Guile's always like talking about how stressful playing is. Playing is really stressful. Maybe I'll just cast from now on. Even games like this, where this is definitely not a professional level, I would say, very enjoyable to cast. I'm enjoying watching this take shape. Rudy is doing work down here, leading team 1 on the eco side of things. It has cemented himself, I believe, control in the bottom pond more than a Jedi. It does have some Thunderheads, but is relying on torpedo launchers to make sure that he can stay viable in this game. He does have access, though, to Seraphim Tech, so we're probably going to be seeing some cruisers pumped out to harass this middle base. To harass the middle base with those evil tactical missiles. Let's see how many ASFs we're up to now. Admiral still at about 130 mass per tick. Is busy upgrading mass extractors to T3 and has a good network of production facilities, busy with air superiority fighters. He did rebuild some of these mass extraction points, which is good. Those are obviously very crucial. Idris is just missing, I think, the boat on some of these mass points. He's building torpedo bombers, thinks that Solcairn is about to, or Solcairn is about to push out, which is definitely true, but we do have some cruisers in there, which is going to make that very difficult for him to deal with. Spy plane's out, so let's check on what our ASF looks like. So we got 14 coming out from Purple Nutter, and then from Admiral we've got, oh, those are interceptors. 8. Okay, so Purple Nutter definitely has been able to slingshot himself into the lead a little bit. Can't forget, though, that Admiral did spend a good number of resources on Spectres trying to make sure that the midpoint was secure for Crabfish. So we'll see if that was worth it, if Crabfish can make something happen here and be able to break more than a Jedi. Governor's set up in the bay, so we're going to see some harassment coming out from Rudy. Looks like a couple of tanks have made it by, probably not enough to do any real damage, though. Going to see a little bit of engagement here. So the Mermaid, I don't know how well the Mermaids actually work. I've never used them because I don't really play Navy that much. I play Cybran all the time, if you guys watch my channel. But normally whenever I play Setons, I like to play the middle because it's most like a 1v1, which is what I'm most comfortable with. So usually what I do is I kill the guy opposite to me, and then I complain after I set up my fire base and one of the pawns gets lost, and then what's about to start happening here happens to me, where Salem's or something get in the way or get in the show up here and start dominating. So the only way that Crabfish is going to be able to respond here is with Gunthers. So we'll see if he gets some Gunthers online. Yeah, Idris is just going to have trouble, I think, keeping up. He's going out and getting this mass point. He's starting to cap these with mass storage, which is definitely good. But as you can see, Purple Nutter is just all over this with spy planes. So there's definitely a lot of good intel. Several T3 factories. Crabfish is worried about strats, as he well should be. He does have an air cleaner there. That's not going to help him a whole lot against strats. Should try and get to T3 and get some flares or some SAMs set up, I think. By and large, though, we see the gap continuing to widen between Team 1 and Team 2 in total mass purchasing power. Admiral is starting to claw his way back into this, though, but we still have, man, Purple Nutter is just running away with it at 300 and something mass per tick. I'm still getting used to kind of what the different functions are on this Supreme scoreboard. It's definitely really cool. Naval engagement, the bottom pond, trying to protect his governors from these submarines. Governor's vulnerable to submarines. We have a Salem, a couple Salems actually, 3 Salems. Salems are good, but they are not the be-all end-all against torpedo, against subs, especially whenever you've got kind of a wolf pack like that. The Salems will not be able to keep up in the torpedo defense arena. You got one going down, another one probably soon to follow. These Tridents are definitely vulnerable as well. Do have a couple of slivers responding. So we'll see if that'll be enough to turn the tide with the Salems. Soul Cairn is just pounding this position. Crabfish is forced to retreat at this point. Torpedo bombers coming in. They will not last long against the Siren, though, unfortunately. So we will see how this ends up shaking out. Torpedo bombers from Soul Cairn as well. Got some Cormorants. We do have Siren coverage though for Idris. So hopefully they won't be long for this world. Actually, the Siren just got taken out, I believe. So yep, he is at the bottom of the ocean. So it's just the Salems, and Salems, while they do have anti-air, it's not the best. Sirens are really what you need there to respond. A couple of Spectre gunships there. So Team 2 is now bouncing between 100 and 200 up on mass generated. And then looking at ASF numbers, Purple Nutter is at 40. And my boy Admiral is at 35. Okay. So it's not as big of a discrepancy as I thought it was. Admiral has definitely narrowed that margin. Must be due to the fact that he's doubled his mass generated over the last few minutes since we last checked in. Also building some skimmers, no doubt to try and help the midpoint from this carnage that these Salems will be introducing with that front gun, that devastating front cannon. Targeting vulnerable mass points. He is sending inspectors. Unfortunately, though, you got the sirens there to deal with those specters. Yeah, they won't be long for this world, I don't believe. Torpedo bombers coming in. Let's see, are they targeting the cruisers as they should, or are they going after... Can't really tell what they're going after. Okay, they're going after the cruisers. So we got one cruiser down. Looks like the second one should be following here after this next run. There we go, okay. So until this cruiser gets in there, this is a little bit more vulnerable unless you have a ton of Geminis like that show up to take them out. So, well, great. I got a couple of ships, but didn't get all of them. Okay, people are dead. I don't know what he means there. Looks like Solcairn has accidentally shut down all of his mass extractors, or accidentally upgraded all of them to T3. It must have been to get this power generator online so that he can sustain that power requirement. Another drop, but Idris isn't falling for the same thing twice, so we do have a Cerberus there to deal with these Medusas. You have a Salem out versus lots more Salems on Solcairn's side, so we're starting to get some nanite torpedo launchers set up, so that's about the best you can do is just try and turtle. If you can make it to Tech 3, which I'm not sure what upgrade that is currently, whether I think I can select this, select his, can I do that? Nope, I can't do that. Alrighty, I don't know what upgrade that is. If it's T3, he might be able to get some harms, and that would definitely slow Solcairn's advance to shut down his naval facilities. So we'll see if that's what he's going for. No, he actually went for the nanite torpedo launcher. So that is another way to do it, as to use your commander as a torpedo launcher. Which the nanite torpedo launcher, if I do remember correctly, is kind of a stupidly strong torpedo launcher, so it might do work. We will see. It does unfortunately force you to put your commander in a rather vulnerable position. Got an engagement going down on the bottom pond. Some Valiant class destroyers tangling with some Barracudas and some Tridents. Should go pretty well for the UEF side. Unless this Barracuda just makes mincemeat of everything. But there should be enough destroyers in that mix to make short work. There it goes. Ooh, we do have T3 sub hunters. The Yathsu. Somebody told me that they were based on Swedish names, so I'm not sure how exactly you pronounce that name, but I'm gonna take my best shot and y'all can laugh at me. So, pretty significant push. It doesn't look like he decided to use his commander for that nanite torpedo launcher, which I think might have been a mistake, but you know, he probably knows something I don't. He's rated better than I am on the global scale. ASF's coming in over the top, hopefully screening for some torpedo bombers right behind him. These nanite torpedo launchers are doing some work. They've taken out a couple of Salems. You can see wreckages down there at the bottom. But yeah, as soon as the Salems target in, they'll focus these guys down pretty quickly. Need to deal with that cruiser first and foremost. I also got some Storks in from Crabfish as well, so Crabfish is helping out with his team's plight in the top pond. They have a laser upgrade coming from More Than a Jedi, who is starting to crank out support commanders. Air engagements over the top. Those Geminis doing pretty good with their stealth, but Coronas are pretty much the best ASF, I believe, so We'll see if Admiral can micro this appropriately, and it doesn't look like he can. He gets over a cruiser, and that is a loss for Team 1 in the air. And Team 2 will have temporary air dominance as well as naval dominance in this top pond as Soul Cairn just goes to work chewing through Idris's base. Idris evacs his comm, who has a stealth field, I believe, is what that upgrade is, and just basically sacks his main base. In the bottom pond, it does look like Rudy is getting pushed back a little bit. These T3 submarine hunters are definitely a force to be reckoned with, and they can be surfaced, and they have pretty devastating anti-aircraft as well. So they might end up chewing through these broadswords even. And if they don't, then the Geminis will, that are coming in from Purple Nutter. So he's got the laser upgrade, but he has RAS and T3, so I don't think he's going for a tele-snipe yet. But he might. Maybe it's just like as a backup. I don't know. They're not in a position where they're desperate for a tele-snipe, but Idris definitely is, so he is going to pick up that laser upgrade. Probably going to be going for the teleporter next. Engineers on reclaim missions from Soul Cairn. Already filling his coffers with the already stupidly high amounts of mass that he is collecting at 400 per tick. And he is not yet at T3 on the naval side. Probably just electing to spam Salem's, unless this is upgrading the... Yeah, this is actually upgrading the T3. I'm completely wrong. Talking out of the wrong side of my face. So he is upgrading to T3 on this naval factory, and these Salem's I'm sure will about to take a stroll through Team 1's side of the map, which is never something you want to see, is Salem strolling. Battle cruisers are out though for Rudy, and construction of an Atlantis that is almost done. These can devastate these sub-hunters as long as there is enough of them. Right now he's just got to buy himself some time and get some Coopers out, hopefully. Yeah, alright, this guy's producing Coopers. He is starting to rush some Coopers, which is good. Also got some torpedo bombers out. Try and take apart a bunch of those submarines. We have sub-hunters, though, have surfaced and are dealing with it, and Purple Nutter is bringing in his air. Purple Nutter is on point this game as far as air power. He's doing a great job moving his ASFs in such a way as to create advantages for his team and force Admiral into poor air engagements like this one, whereas ASFs end up getting destroyed even over friendly governors, friendly, relatively powerful anti-aircraft coverage. More Than a Jedi is now got up to Galaxy class battleship, so is looking to rule the galaxy as father and son. These rather majestic looking triple cannons. I love the Galaxy model. As a lot of people really like the Summit model, but I really like the Galaxy's model. It just looks evil and awesome. I apparently like evil things. Have we got any Coopers in this mix yet for Rudy? Because he definitely is going to need them. On their way. Oh, Atlantis is done though, so definitely going to want to submerge that puppy. Get that thing to work on taking out these sub-hunters. Try and get this in a choke point. Up at the top we do have Salem's, it looks like, making landfall. Gonna take a stroll through Idris's old base. Idris working on a teleporter. I don't know if he's gonna be able to finish that one before these Salem's start bearing down on him. He does not have the stealth upgrade anymore, so we can see if Soul Cairn sees him yet. Nope, the radar is not quite there, so he might be able to wrap that up. Down the South Pond, the Atlantis goes to work, engaging, sending out hordes of torpedoes against these barracudas and these sub-hunters. Hopefully it's enough. I don't know if Rudy is going to want to bring that thing to the surface. Oh, Idris is defeated. So the Salems did find him. Look at that. I missed an ejection. In true noob caster experience, I have missed an ejection. So let's see if this Atlantis is getting in there pretty deep, taking on a lot of bad guys. A lot of bad guys that have a lot of torpedoes. I don't know if this thing's going to be able to take on all of this on its own. That's a lot of sub-hunters. We got dozens in there, and then we have a torpedo run in from Solcairn. That is the end of that Atlantis. We do have another one done, so we will see. Tiger Shark's about to get shredded and turn into fur rugs. Or I guess, I don't know what I'm saying here. He needs to get these torpedo boats in the middle of this, and he needs to use I don't know why these guys are helping this governor. Salems are also beginning to siege Crabfish's base at range. He's trying to respond with flapjacks and pillars. I don't think that's going to work out super well for him. And these Salems are still continuing to push inward, now threatening Admiral's base. Whenever these things get further away, though, from the water, that is whenever they become more vulnerable to gunships. So we do see Rudy bringing in a couple of broadswords to try and take these out. You're going to need some more broadswords, though, than that. Checking in on Purple Nutter, what he's working on. He is getting ready for tele-defense. A massive air manufacturing operation. And everybody is really getting into the air game now, with and lots of support commanders are coming out. So this is about to get very difficult for Team 1, even more difficult than it already has been. This aircraft carrier is, well, has seemingly mopped up all of the enemy subs, which is great. We can see if it can stay alive. It's got a Galaxy's ground firing on it, so that's not what you want to see. The next one is a little bit of ways away. We do have a Summit, though, coming out. And we still have that Neptune class battle cruiser. Thunderhead's being sent in. Governor's dealing with the Cormorant spam relatively well. And another air engagement from Admiral and Purple Nutter. This aircraft carrier is online. It looks like we've got a SAM over here to help as well. So they're really trying to get we're really trying to buy Admiral some air. Jedi, though, pushing hard down the middle. Lightning tanks. We have a pause. Okay, now it's been resumed. Lightning tanks and Crabfish. I think that this is the end of Crabfish. We've got some Uyanas, Thams, Othams, siege tanks. We're getting some T1 PD, but just look at the HP evaporate off of Crabfish, and that will be our third ejection from this game. And Team 1 begins to crumble a little bit. Or a little more, I should say. So that kind of leaves the front door open, as it were, for more than a Jedi to continue his path towards the dark side and push down the middle. Soul Current is set up factories up in the top area. Restorers are moving in from Admiral, looking to deal with these guys, and those restorers should be able to deal with T1 spam relatively well. Just need to make sure you stay away from any cruisers. And then we got these restorers dealing with the Medusa spam coming in, so holding for now. More restorers headed down here. They're going to have to be careful with these lightning tanks, though. Those lightning tanks will do work against air units. It doesn't look like he's microing them against the lightning tanks, and there's definitely T2 flak artillery in there as well. So those restorers probably will not be able to stem the tide. It will be able to blunt the blow, though. See a Novax coming online rather quickly from Rudy. I don't know if that's going to be enough to fix the problem, but it will definitely help things a little bit. Another Atlantis doing work, sort of. These galaxies ground firing on the Atlantis is really causing issues for Rudy to be able to take out these battleships as well as deal with the Tridents. Oh, it looks like we already have a Novax online. Yeah, this is Rudy's second Novax, so one Novax is on its way across, and we'll see what the target is going to be. Broadswords from Rudy as well, helping Admiral deal with these factories and this T1 spam that Soul Current have set up on this side. We have aircraft carriers, though, dealing some pretty crushing anti-air attacks. And the Salems are continuing to walk across. More Than a Jedi is now into More Than Naval, as he has got a pretty sizable force of his own Gemini ASFs. This Neptune battlecruiser will not survive for much longer. Let's see how long this one makes it. It looks like all the galaxies are done, though. We do have another one coming in and another sub-hunter. So these Atlantises are really turning the tide for Rudy up here down here in this bottom pond. A lot more restorers, and this time it looks like Admiral is microing them to take out the anti-air, so he should be able to mop up the rest of this mess without too much difficulty. Restorer spam is the name of the game from Admiral. I mean, to be fair, they are doing work for him. I mean, you can just see like the pile of wreckage that these little green lasers are creating down here. I get somebody in there and reclaim that, put it into another Novax or something else like that. Broadswords are continuing to deal with the broadswords, and restorers are continuing to deal with the relentless Salem spam. It's coming out of Soul Current. Seeing some strategic bombers get staged by Purple Nutter. Wonder whether he is going to be going after Admiral. Admiral doesn't have any shield coverage in his base currently. Does have SMD, which reminds me whether anybody is going for nukes. Normally at this skill level I don't see a whole lot of people go for nukes. But everybody goes for SMD, so everybody's scared of nukes, but nobody builds them themselves. It's kind of funny, actually. Land Factory producing T3 mobile artillery. We got some sniper bots in play as well. These restorers just shredding these Salems. I mean, one thing can be said, like if you look at the disparity in eco, like Team 2 is doubling Team 1's income, almost. But, wow, those restorers just shredded those Geminis. But if we look at like the kill-death ratio, I'm thinking this is going to tell a pretty compelling story. So you've got Well, okay, never mind. It's not a compelling story at all. Team 2 is just winning the game. So these restores, though, are definitely doing some good work on this side. If we look at total mass, we got 1.74 to 1.33, but there is a lot of mass that is sitting there for Rudy or Admiral to go and pick up. It's just waiting there, begging to be scooped. Yeah, I mean, if we go to Control Shift, we're seeing, I mean, you got like probably 50K of mass just in this area alone. And down here, God knows how much is in that pile. So definitely some good mass to be scooped. This Salem problem, though, is just, it's not going away. We are seeing some response now from Admiral, but I mean, he's just streaming Salems and cruisers across this channel and just sending them a walk-in. While he's at it, might as well grab the mass points that are on Team 1's side of the map as well. So we've got lots of support commander spam. We've got hives just going up, working overtime here to get support commanders out, getting Rascoms out, and that's, I mean, you see Purple Nutter at 713 mass per tick. I mean, to be fair, like, Rudy is crushing it at 714. He is keeping up, and Admiral has come back into this game in a big way from an eco perspective, up at 452. It wasn't long ago that he was down at only like 100 whenever everybody else was like at 300 or so. So he is definitely making some big strides, and these restorers, I think, are causing just a lot of problems for Team 2. They're just really struggling to break anything at this point with this kind of restorer spam, because they can't even send mass ASFs, because the restorer critical mass is just gigantic. Excuse me. What are we at? 53 restorers. So I mean, we're just at a point of critical mass, I think, with these restorers, where they can even stand up to some ASFs with a significant number of ASFs, not just even some, but a significant number of ASFs with ease. And we'll see, because it looks like Purple Nutter is responding right now, and he's got 63 Geminis in there, but I mean, that's almost a 1-to-1 ratio of restorers to ASFs, and I think a restorer beats an ASF most of the time. Building some Myrmidons here to try and even this out, but I think that these support commanders are going to go pop here. Taking out these Myrmidons. Yeah, so we got these support commanders. They're trying to get Myrmidons up, but that's not going to be enough. Got more Geminis coming in, but I don't think that's going to be able to do anything. And yeah, he's thinking twice about it. So I mean, here we go. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if these guys, see if these restorers can hold their own. Is Admiral responding with ASFs? Does he have any ASFs left? I don't know if he has any ASFs. It does look like we actually do have enough Geminis to deal with the restorer spam. Yeah, so that's going to be crushing for, again, Team 1, that critical tool to be able to respond. Do have strats coming in. Admiral goes back into full restorer production. Is any air factory not working on restorers? Do we have any on ASFs anymore? No, he's just going full restorer spam. We got strat bombers coming in. There's a lot of anti-air in this area. These are not going to make it very far, I don't think. What are they dropping on? They're going after support commanders, I think. I don't know where his actual commander is, though. Is his actual commander over here? These are all SACUs. You know, I'm not seeing his actual comm. Oh, nope, there he is. All right, found him. Okay, so he was working on a Duke. Walk down, then around. Ever heard of walking around stuff? It works. Oh, the salt. It's just so good. This game is going on way too long. It is going on for a long time. Team 2 is having problems finishing Team 1 off. Okay, so we have a GC coming out from Admiral now, and it looks like he is going full into support commander production. Rudy has now taken the lead in generated mass from Purple Nutter by a little bit. And that is going into a Duke. He's got 2 Novaxes online. We got Novaxes harassing vulnerable mass points. And this other Novax is looking like it's trying to take out the power grid for Purple Nutter. Got lots of restorers again, and broadswords this time, so these broadswords are nasty whenever it comes to dealing with the ground. GC coming in as well. Got a series of spy planes. All right, so he's going heavy into eco, getting some support commanders out. Oh, we got the March of the Salems. I think this will be our thumbnail picture. Just looking at how many Salems this guy has accrued and how many have died. Like, we just got Salem wrecks on Salem wrecks all over Team 1's side of the map. Okay, never turn a GC around. It can't shoot if you turn it around, Admiral. Come on, buddy. Come on, Maz. Restorers dealing with... Alright, so we got a strategic launch. We do have plan Bs over here. I missed that. But both of them are loading. We got one loaded and one close to getting a nuke ready. These restorers are still just really causing problems for the ASFs of Team 2. But it looks like there are enough ASFs between Purple Nutter and More Than a Jedi to deal with them, maybe. Oh. That nuke crippled Admiral. Almost killed him, too. I can't believe he didn't have an SMD. I thought he had an SMD. Or maybe he's just control K-ing everything. I think he's just control K. I think my boy has had enough. Well, that leaves Rudy as the final hope. Keep walking the GC, man. Keep walking the GC forward. Thank you. I don't know how much of that actually got killed from the strategic bombers. Not gonna be able to make it, I don't think. We do have some transcenders dealing with the ASFs. Is there an end game or a game ender coming from? All right, so we got a Scathos under construction from Purple Nutter, and then another one coming from More Than a Jedi. Lots of strategic bombers incoming, and bombs away, and ba-boom. Alrighty, Rudy. You're all that's left for Team 1. The Duke is online, though. I don't know if there's going to be enough strategic bombers can't really tell where the comm is, though. There it is. Alright, so his comm's up here, building an Omni. So obviously he lost radar. So he didn't have his own radar. Well, he does sort of from his Navy. Atlantis is going down. And this army is beginning to close in. Ravagers and Triads. The UEF Turtle is strong. We have a nuke out, 2 nukes out from Solkant. Know that he was working on an SMD. Does he have 2? Yeah, he has 3 in the tank, so that we'll be able to stop those. But it's this land push is what he needs to be concerned with. Ravagers, Triads. And to be fair, he's doing really good. So they have found the comm. Found the comm. Support commander's falling. He's still working on his shield upgrade. You got a shield upgrade, last bank of Triads, kind of the last line of defense. ASFs are chasing spy planes. Bombing run is coming in. Will that be enough? Ooh. Shield's down. Or no, not his shield, but the base shield is down. Salem's have found their target and are locking on. Shall we let the Scathus kill him just for fun? You say that and you're like, it's just for fun, and then you realize he ends up coming back and beating you. Which would be funny. Oh, we got a, is that a teleporter? I thought I saw Cybran teleport something or other. Maybe it got canceled? I don't know, I'm loath to look away. I feel like a Cybran commander is just gonna like pop in here any second. The Salems are doing work though, bombarding. Does he have point defense? I mean, he's got these point defense, but these guys are all busy dealing with all the stuff outside of the base. I don't know if he's got any point defense that'd be tele-snipe protection. Let's see, is anybody teleporting? I'm gonna look away for 1 second and then somebody's gonna jump in. All right, so more than a Jedi is not. All right, strap bomb in. Shield is down. A couple more to finish him off, and here they come. Yep, and good game. I still beat my mirror. Alrighty, guys. Well, we're gonna call it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are tuning in from Guilecast and just want more Supreme Commander casting, I'm gonna do everything I can to continue delivering Supreme Commander. Love this game, like I've said multiple times, and we'll be looking to do more casts of it in the future. As always, if you like what you saw, please leave it a like. Helps out the YouTube algorithms quite a bit. And if it's shit, let me know in the comments below. But make it constructive and give me some tangible feedback where it's like, I didn't like that you did this, or audio is imbalanced, or something like that, instead of just like, you suck, I hate your guts, things like that. Because I will not listen to those, and I will continue putting out content that might be initially subpar. But anyway, I digress wildly. I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.